The Get Better podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The opinions expressed are those of the participants. Please remember to gamble responsibly.
From whose line is it anyway? Colin Mockery. What's his name?
Colin Morikawa.
What's his name? What's his name?
It's Colin Morikawa.
Morikawa.
Colin Mockery. Well, you
Morikawa.
pulled that one deep from the depths
Yeah.
of whose line is it everywhere? Anyway.
Welcome to Get Better for April 7th, Masters Eve. I'm Troy Gubb. I'm here with Luke Boone. This is your week, sir. How you doing?
Good. Super excited. This is definitely one of my favorite weeks of the year. Favorite golf tournament. We talked about this one last year, I think, with the tournament in November. Yeah. So we, and it's weird to have it back 5 months later. It's really interesting. But yeah, I love this week. Love to have Masters Week. I'll be tuned in. Been watching a lot of the coverage so far. I'll be tuned in all throughout the rest of the week and into the weekend. And super excited to talk a little bit about this one and dive back into it and maybe take a little bit of a different approach from where we were in the last podcast. We covered the Masters.
Yeah, this is by far the area I'm probably going to rely a lot on you here. I know you are the expert, and I think that's kind of a good way to go about that is Luke, I don't know who to pick. I have no idea who to pick this week. Mm-hmm. When I look at who I think might win, it's a crapshoot for me. I don't have enough background here. So I'm going to rely heavily on you this week to give me some advice with these picks.
Yeah, expert may be generous. I don't know. Say I'm an expert.
Luke, our listeners are listening.
But yeah, no, I'm very in tune with my golf knowledge. I watch a lot. I will say that. So I do watch a lot. I know what's happening in around the tour. I know where guys are trending and that sort of thing. And because this is one of my favorite golf tournaments, my favorite golf tournament for sure, hands down. I paid close attention to some of the nuances about the course and things to watch out for. But it's always tough. Like I find betting on golf is a difficult one. Like trying to figure out who to pick as a winner is a bit of a crapshoot. Like tough. There's so many different ways you can go. So I think it'd be fun for this one to explore a couple different betting strategies and how we might look at the way that you approach sort of the Masters as well as maybe golf betting as well. But yeah, it can be tough to look at, and there's so many nuances. And one of the biggest things is the course changes. Like with golf betting in general, the course is changing every single week. So, and the courses differ, and certain players play better in some courses than others, which makes it really, really tough to track and sort of, be successful on a week-to-week basis. You really have to follow the ins and outs and know your stats and your details and history and whatnot.
So do you feel like you got a good handle of the courses in general? Like if I were to throw out a course that you got a fairly good range on it, but the Masters in general.
The Masters in general, there may be a few other courses out there that you can get a really good sense as to guys that have played well at, or some of the difficulties and challenges that you would see around that golf course. But I'm such a Masters fan, an avid fan, that I've paid attention long enough that I feel like I know the course better than I would most other courses.
I'm looking in your screen right now, and I'm seeing multiple logos all over the place. So to prepare for this week, I kind of looked at looking around. I ran into covers.com, told me a little good information. Like, what are the key things to really look out for? And it was things like course fit, how people are currently doing, the weather. Sounds like it's going to be rainy this weekend. When I think about who I'm going to pick, what is that first key stat? Like I can ask you right now, like who's hot? Who's coming in hot right now?
Yeah, I think it's a great question. Everyone right now is going to lean on Jordan Spieth because of the win in Texas last week, the Valero Texas Open. He comes in with the win. But you know what? The thing about Jordan was he was trending really well over the course of the last month or so. So he was kind of trending to that point. The question is, does he peak too soon? And I, for me, when I look at tournaments, I always tend to fade the winner from the previous week, just based on the fact that it can be a grind. 4 rounds. When you're in contention, it's mentally, physically exhausting, it's draining, and then you go through the emotions of winning that tournament, everything that comes along with it. And for Jordan, this one was an emotional one. He hadn't won since 2017, right? Wow. So this was a big win for him, and as he said, sort of monkey off the back, call it. The thing is, like, with Jordan, the guy just loves this tournament and this golf course so much, and he's trending so well. He's a guy that I would look at and say, like, you might play the hot hand here. The fact that he won in Texas last week might mean that he can carry a lot of that real good momentum into sort of this week and maybe do something and make something happen. Outside of that, like, there's been a lot of guys that have played well, been trending well. Bryson's been the best player on the tour probably all season, and he's just an absolute beast and doing weird things in golf in terms of like just mashing golf balls and some weird driving drills and things like that, speed drills, all this crazy stuff. He's the best player. Justin Thomas, another like fantastic pick here, and obviously he's playing really well. Won the Players a couple weeks ago. Didn't really show up to the WGC, and so I mean it's tough to tell. But like if you're going to ride that hot hand coming into it, I think a lot of attention is on Spieth right now, and I think he's getting a lot of attention because of how he's played here before, right? So that to me is sort of the guy that I think a lot of people are looking at and saying if you're gonna ride that wave, Spieth might be the guy.
So this brings up a good idea for this kind of week's podcast is instead of me and you betting on one person and picking, there's multiple here. What if we have a little friendly wager and we pick 5 guys? 5 guys, and one of them, whoever wins.
Gotcha.
Now,
like whoever has the lowest round. And like they might not win the tournament, but whoever, like if we have a guy that finishes, second or T2 or T3, or maybe it's an aggregate of all 5 guys.
Okay. Oh, good idea. That's a good one. The aggregate of all 5 guys. Let's do that.
Yeah, I like
but
that.
We'll place a bet for sure on each of them so we can at least try to win some money here. Because the one thing that I did read here this week is this is the one sport where you want to pick multiple winners, right? Because everybody has a chance, but the odds are actually so good where you actually, if you could bet like the top 5 guys, if one of them hits, you're going to make money, at least, or a range of that. Maybe it's 6 of the top 10 or something like that. If one of them hits, you will turn a profit. So as we go through this podcast today, I'm going to make some notes here because I'm totally going to be stealing and cheating off you. So whatever kind of information you've name dropped a couple already.
Yeah, that's good to know.
So you can throw me off a little bit here.
Yeah.
But so let's go to the Masters itself. You've talked a little bit about who's hot. That course itself, and what is the one thing, that one stat that Luke Boone is looking for when it comes to the Masters?
So a couple quick things that are important to note about the golf course, and maybe this year versus last year. Obviously, last year they played it in the fall, so there's a big difference in nuance in terms of time of year and when it's being played. When it was played back in November, and DJ went out there and basically tore it apart and scored 20 under, which was the record of lowest score for the tournament, and yada yada yada, as he writes down. DJ
noted, sir.
Down,
noted. Mr. 20, are you? Okay.
Yeah. The course was playing softer. It was a little bit different. They'd overseeded the golf course and had a chance to grow all the way in, and so it was like an entirely different golf course. So I think it's tough to look at some of those players that performed really well in November, especially for any of the guys that came in as their first time around the golf course, and then to come in and play now. Because the way the course is set up, and unfortunately I think the weather is looking like it might rain, but the course right now as it's set up is like lightning fast. Quick. And I think a lot of that is based on the fact that Augusta probably didn't feel great about the 20 under and how low that was for their golf course. The prestige of the Masters in Augusta and how difficult and challenging it is, and it's not. So, but to get back to the question of like what is that one stat that I think you really should focus and hone in on. And to me, that all stems from the fact that this is really an approach shot golf course. You really, really need to be dialed in on your second, third shots. There's a couple things and nuances that you can look at from this particular golf course. You do need to drive the ball well, but your approach to the green is the most important shot on this golf course, and a lot of that is just based on the way the greens are set up. There's a lot of undulation, a lot of false front. They can be really quick and slippery. If you leave yourself with high, downhill sliding putts, and the greens are as lightning fast as the players are currently saying they are, these things could roll right off the green. So that approach shot is really, really important and crucial. So strokes gained on approach, which essentially, and let's not get into the nuances of trying to figure out strokes gained, because there's like mathematical formulas to it, and let's not bore everybody with all of that kind of boring detail. But essentially, strokes gained on your approach to the green or on approach shots is basically, your measure, how you measure on that shot, on your approach to the green compared to the rest of the field. That's gotcha. In a nutshell, that's what you're looking at. You're looking at it in comparison to the rest of the field. So I think when you look at that stat in particular right now, Colin Morikawa is got the best strokes gained on approach.
So for our listeners, right now, where would you go to find that stat? Where's a great place to go for that stat?
Yeah, I mean, PGAtour.com is probably the best place. They've got a great stats section. You can go in there and you can see everything, because there's a number of other stats that you can factor in here. I think any of the strokes gained are important stats. Strokes gained off the tee, strokes gained on approach is, to me, the number one most important stat. But then strokes gained putting as well. You do need to putt on this golf course incredibly well. Like you need to know the greens pretty well and be a decent putter to get there. So for me, it would be strokes gained approach and then putting. The other thing that I would potentially look at here as well, which would be a good indicator, is par 5 scoring. It's a golf course where you need to score on the par 5s. The par 4s are really, really hard here at Augusta. So that might be another stat that you might go and jump in and have a look at. But then there's like so many other things that you could factor into it, right? Like we talked about momentum, weather, who plays in bad weather, who plays in good weather, who likes fast golf courses, who likes soft golf courses. All those things kind of factor into it. For me at Augusta, that approach shot is so pivotal and crucial. Putting is extremely important. And your par 5 scoring, I think, is really, really crucial here as well. So those are kind of the stats that I would look at and focus in on. Also, if you know a guy can draw the golf ball, I think any guy that can draw the ball off the tee sets up really, really well for this golf course. If you fade the golf ball, it's a little bit tricky. I think, like Dustin Johnson said it this week, like he doesn't really draw the golf ball. So he fades the golf ball more than anything. In this week, he's just going to hit it straight. Like that's kind of how he did it, in November and looked at it. So that's kind of like in a nutshell, me nerding out a little bit on
totally on nerding out on me there. I'm like some myself. I'm like slopes. What slopes?
Yeah.
I'm like okay, cool. I got it. I got a couple names. I know who I'm looking at. I've been to PGA.com. All right. So do we? So
do you want to look at a couple names here?
So just quickly, how's my so last time I look back, I got shattered last time we did this. How's my boy Brooks doing? He was hurt his wrist last time.
Yeah. So he's coming in on a bum knee right now. He literally just had surgery. Yeah, it's surgery on his knee.
I've had knee surgeries. I love this guy. This is my guy.
Yeah. You and him go hand in hand.
I love this guy.
So, and maybe there's a trend there for you. You seem to always try to pick him when he's injured. Ooh. But like coming in off the wrist surgery.
Yeah. How did he do in his last tournament?
He hasn't played. This is his first tournament because he had knee surgery, man. He's coming off a knee surgery. He's literally getting prepped to come in specifically for this tournament.
So you're saying he's got something to prove. Okay, I like it.
And you know what? Like Brooks is the type of guy that I think he comes in expecting to win every tournament. He says it all the time. He's got so much confidence. A lot of swag on that. A lot of swag.
So brazen.
The way he struts around the golf course. It's a little like DJ, although DJ's kind of he's a little bit more reserved, like quiet. Like you get a sense that maybe DJ doesn't really love the limelight. He's just really cool, laid back guy. Brooks is like, I'm great and I know it. And all of you should know it. And if you don't, just watch.
Such a fan.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see how he does. I think he has a tough time right now bending down to read putts, which could be problematic at Augusta because of the knee. But hey, man, you know what? He could be a guy that's right there. Who knows? And it could be fun to watch too. So yeah, why don't we look at that? Because I think you brought up a good point. One of the strategies, if you're going to look at week to week betting on golf, is there's a ton of value when you look at sort of trying to pick an outright winner. Incredibly tough to do, very, very difficult. But it is fun because of the amount of value that's there, right? Like you could put a little bit of money on a lot of guys and do really well if you can find that diamond in the rough, that right one, right? So
let's find that diamond.
Yeah. I don't recommend doing that on a week-to-week basis with golf because you'll be broke and your bankroll is like brutal bankroll manager. For the majors, it's a fun thing to do.
Totally.
And it keeps you like engaged and you're watching and following along. You got your 5 guys and you're just seeing who's going to do it. You don't care who wins as long as it's one of those 5. Like that's what makes it fun. So I think that's a good strategy to look at. We'll go through it. We'll pick our 5 guys. We'll have some fun with that.
Let's be honest. The last couple of podcasts, we are on a little bit of a heater. Coming out of March Madness into the over-unders for baseball. It seems like we can't lose right now. So
betting on that wind really panned out.
All over these picks. So your 5 versus my 5.
Okay. You want to do it?
Yeah. What happens if a guy doesn't make the cut? What do we mark them off as
0. You got no aggregate. So aggregate. Like they wouldn't be like they're not going to. I mean it's tough. There's a couple ways to do it.
Okay.
I think what we should probably do is do total earnings. That's the easiest way to do it. You miss the cut, you make no money.
You make no
dollars,
money?
right? You make no money, you miss the cut. No, absolutely not. That's one of the hardest things about golf. To me, that's one of the craziest things about golf, too, as a sport, when you think about it. Compared to all the other sports, it is an absolute grind. Right? Like you don't make money in miscuts. So think about how many guys are just trying to grind it out on tour. Like just make a little bit of money. I just need something in the pocket to book the hotel room and a flight from my caddy next week. And it's like it's a grind, man.
Could you imagine if you're watching and you see the guy in front of you that you just need him to miss the putt, but you know he's loaded and this is like your next meal?
Yeah, you're like, come on,
just throw it.
Just throw me a bone.
One time, please.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seriously, it's like. Okay, let's
get down to this. Who are your picks?
So I think we will do it based on total earnings, money.
Total earnings.
That's probably the easiest way to do it. Okay. Total earnings for the tournament. So you need guys to make the cut.
Let's go, boys.
Here.
You're going to make me some money here.
Okay, how do you want to do this? You want to go my 5, your 5, or 1 for 1?
1 for 1, because I don't want to see you copying mine, sir.
Okay, sounds good. Okay. Who's going first?
You go first.
Okay, I'll go first. I
swear to God, I'm not going to copy you. I swear to God, I'm not going to copy you.
I feel like I just got roped into that. Well, it would be to your detriment to copy me.
How about we just okay.
It's fine. I'll go first. We'll alternate. I'll go first, and then you go, and then you go first the next.
Gotcha.
Okay, my first pick. I might be making some of this up on the fly here, but my first pick, I'm gonna go with Justin Thomas. Again, like coming off the Players Championship, he's playing relatively well. I like that. I like that pick. I think he's going to be right there in contention. He wants a green jacket. To me, I really, really like Justin this week. I think he can play well here, and his game, suits the golf course. I think he'll be good.
Okay.
I like Justin as the first pick.
All right. By the way, are we allowed to duplicate picks, or should we not? Do we have to take them off the board? Do we have to have 5 separate?
No. We can duplicate if you want.
I was thinking maybe don't duplicate.
If you want to do 5 separate.
Okay, well then with my first overall pick on Team Gub, I'll take Dustin Johnson, Mr. 20. Mr. minus 20.
Oh, Mr. minus 20.
Let's
Good
go.
Pick.
This
world number 1.
We should do
He's
a poll.
World number 1.
Is he?
Yeah, world number 1.
Wow, what a miss on your first pick. And with my hold on.
I'm trying to think. The last person that repeated was Tiger Woods.
It's my pick right now. It is your pick. My second pick, then, based on what you've said, I'm going to take Bryson.
Bryson DeChambeau. Oh yeah, great pick. Like already, your team's looking very strong right here. I like that pick a lot.
Yeah, this is where things are going to go south on the next pick. I already know.
That's okay. I'm gonna ride the hot hand here, and I'm gonna say it before you jump in and take it. But I'm gonna go Jordan Spieth. I'm gonna ride the hot hand. He loves this tournament. He's feeling great coming off that win in Texas. Yep. He's trending in the right direction. The driver makes me a little bit nervous, but I feel like he found something with the putter. I like Jordan here, and he loves this golf course. Maybe a little bit of magic. We're gonna take Jordan there then. With my next one here, I'm gonna go with a guy that has played well here, and he made some comments in his interviews and press conferences this week that I really, really liked in terms of how he approaches this golf course, which I think a lot of young golfers first come in, they play this golf course, don't do it. They try to overpower it. You can't. You really need to plot your way around this golf course. You need to plan it and be strategic about it. And he made those comments. Xander Schauffele is my pick for the third. Ooh. I think this guy can win it, honestly. And he's due. He's due for a victory. He's got to get it done. I really, really think he can.
Okay.
So I'm going Xander Schauffele with this one. Okay, sir, to you.
This is where it's like I'm playing my fantasy pool myself, and things are about to go south. I got to take my boy. Bad knee brother. Let's go. Gosh. Brooks. Bad knee Brooks. You're with me, buddy.
Yeah. I mean, it's hard to imagine that. No, you know what? It's hard to imagine that Brooks wouldn't play well here. Yeah. I worry about the knee. I thought I heard some news that he was seen limping a bit yesterday. He's having a hard time bending down to read the greens, read putts.
So he's not going to be thinking about his shot. He's not going to get distracted. He's going to be thinking about his knee, locked in, focused, and everything will just come naturally. His natural gift is going to come through this weekend. Watch out for Brooks. Okay.
It might. With my you got a lot of power here with your 3 picks. Yeah, a lot of power. Nice. Big power here.
Okay, well now I'm going to go finesse, because if you've taught me anything on this, it's looking at that key set around the approach to the green. From whose line is it anyway? Colin Mockery. What's his name?
Colin Morikawa.
What's his name?
Colin Morikawa. Colin Mockery. Well, you pulled that one deep from the depths there of whose line is it everywhere. Yeah. Anyway, that's amazing.
Colin. Welcome to the team.
Yeah. Good pick. You shaping up. You got a nice group here. I like your group. I do. Okay, the next one that I'm going with here is a guy that, again, I think can win this tournament, is due. He's played well here in the past, and I think he ranks relatively well on strokes, but I might have that mistaken on the approach shots. But I think he's kind of flying a little under the radar, but he's gotten some attention this week. Patrick Cantlay is another guy that I'm going to focus on. Training well, has played well here in the past. And this guy needs desperately to get a major under his belt. He's got to get one here. So I like Patrick Cantlay.
And to round out your roster, sir?
To round out my roster, let's see. There's a lot of different ways I could go. I really like Tony Finau. There's something about Rory here, even though he's not playing well. I don't know.
Who's taking him? Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to get something going here, but I would not be surprised to see Rory there. Webb Simpson's another pick I really like. I'm going to go with a guy here that is obviously won here before, playing well. I feel like he flies under the radar. Not a fan favorite, I don't believe, but for some reason he kind of always finds himself in the mix, and that's Patrick Reed. Okay. I'm not a huge Patrick Reed kind of guy. I think he's struggled a little bit, some allegations on cheating and whatnot, which which hasn't boded well for him. But he just kind of brushes it off and has this vibe of like, I don't care, it's me against the world. So I'm going to go Patrick Reed. And see where that goes. All right. I'm curious to see where you're going with your final pick.
My final pick, I'm going off the board. I'm looking around for someone that has a lot of odds that could pay me a lot of money on a $20 bet.
That does seem to bode well.
And also, though, he was on that list, the approach to the green. I locked in on this. I have no idea who he is. I'm taking good old Willie Z.
Will Zalatoris.
That's his name. I'm in.
Yeah.
Willie's on the team.
Yeah,
he's on the squad.
He looks like he's maybe 12. He's 24. Turned pro in 2018 from good old San Fran.
Young and up and comer.
Young and up and comer from Wake Forest. Great golf school too.
Okay.
You know what? He's had some strong finishes. He's a guy to watch for, man. Okay. He's been right in the mix. So I actually don't mind that pick.
Okay, cool. Because $20, Luke, will pay me $1,180 if Willie Z comes through.
Sorry, let's just be clear on one thing. I don't think Willie Z wins the tournament.
What?
I think he can. I think there's a chance he makes the cut for sure, and can earn you some money here. Hey, that's what I'm saying.
He's just got a bank. That's
in this sort of format, that this friendly wager that we have going on. I might not take him as the dark horse. There's a couple other dark horses that I would watch out for that you would look at. So if like a Matt Wallace is a guy that I would I'd have a peek at too. I think he's second on that strokes gained list, somewhere in there. Sorry, not second. He's fourth there, but he's a guy that I would have a peek at as well. Tyrell Hatton, a few other guys. Tony Finau, Corey Connor's a Canadian, top Canadian for sure. He's got to be. Sorry, Mikey Weir.
What?
But it's got to be. It's got to be Corey Connors.
I threw a bone on Mike Weir last time to make the cut. I can't remember if he did. Did he make it?
I think so.
I can't remember. I'm going to do that again.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I think
I like those other fun bets you can make during that.
Yeah, there's a bunch there and worth looking at. Like the 3 balls, I think we talked about. We had a bunch of success on those. That's something you should look at as well. I think if you're going to actually be strategic on a week-to-week basis betting golf, I like the 3 balls. You can really do some research on those. Taking into account some of those stats, but then also look at like first round, second round, third round scoring and match them up with whoever they're against and find some nice value there as well. So that's one that I'll probably get in on a little bit this week too, and do that round around and have some fun with that. So
yeah, I guess this is our first kind of poll that we could do too. Who do you think is going to come through? You betting on Boone or you betting on Gub?
Team Boone or Team Gub. Yeah. It's fairly evenly matched. The Willie Z pick was a little out of left field for me. That might throw people for a little bit of a loop. But you know what? We're going to track it. This is going to be fun to follow.
Well, this is going to be. Those are going to be my 5 folks. I'm going to also like put a wager on too. And see if this pays off. The odds are there. If one of them hits, we're gold. So no problem whatsoever.
For sure. And I will do the same, and we'll see how we fare and where we net out.
Yeah. This is my one chance to beat you at golf. Because it's never going to happen in person.
I don't know, man. My game's kind of gone a little bit side. Where's your game at right now?
Terrible. I know we hinted a little bit at it last week, but I'm getting out. I'm getting out this weekend. First of the season, but just got to break 100. I'm trying, man.
Just got to break
100. Yeah, I'm trying to be the guy that people want to bring out.
Is this the year? Is this the season?
This is the year.
You break
100%. 100%.
You're sold on that.
Sold on that. I'm going to do lessons. I'm going to break 100 this year. I'm going to break 100.
Okay. I feel like there's a friendly wager here somewhere. I think
you don't think I'm going to do it.
I don't know.
You give me the whole season. How many times?
No, hang on. If we're going to do this properly, I'll give you 5 rounds.
5 rounds. Okay.
You got 5 rounds. Now you can play golf as much as you want.
Yeah.
But
we should film this. We should film it.
We will. 5 rounds you have to play with me. I have to be there for those 5 rounds. You can pick the golf courses. Let's put some parameters around which golf could.
What?
Dantonia? No,
Par 3. I grew up there. Okay.
There's no way we're not playing that golf course.
Okay.
We're
real course.
Yeah, we're gonna play some great golf courses. Not to say that Dantonia is not bad. It's a fun little track to play for sure. But you pick the courses. 5 rounds. over the course of the summer, between now and let's say September, end of August.
You got it.
Okay, we get to play 5 times.
Once a month.
Sure, if you want to do that.
Once a month, we'll try to get out.
Yeah. If you break 100 in any of those 5 rounds, when we get out of lockdown, when we get out of this COVID, when we get out of this COVID stuff, expensive steak dinner.
Yes, Jacobs.
We'll go. Yeah, we'll go have a big one. We'll have a nice. Yeah.
Okay,
a big
real one.
I think we do that. A real one. If you don't break 100,
I owe you.
Yeah, you're covering the bill. You're covering the bill. That's the deal. That's the wager.
Chuck's Roadhouse for you. You're ready to go.
No, same restaurant. We're going to Jacobs either way.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just to be clear, we need to put that in the.
Yeah. No. We're going expensive steak dinner.
Yeah.
That's what's on. That's what's on taps here, and you got five rounds to get it done with me playing.
You got it.
And if you think that I'm going to take it easy and not try to get in your head, you got another thing coming.
Boone. I need that. I need that pressure.
You know what the best part about this wager here? And I've lost a lot of wagers to you because I've been silly enough not to think about what you've been proposing to me, and it hasn't fared well for me. But the best part about this wager is I don't even really need to beat you, so I can play as bad as I want, as long as I get in your head. As long as I get in your head,
I know.
and you don't break 100, I'm golden.
So focused.
I'm golden. I'm going to enjoy the heck out of that steak dinner.
All right, let's do it. I'm down.
All right, let's do it.
Man.
That'll be a fun one. We'll keep everybody posted on Gub's adventures in breaking 100.
Oh, well, this has been the Masters, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy the weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, everyone.